Hi guys and welcome to the Euro Car Show. Today I'm driving the brand new Lexus UX 250h. This is a brand new model from Lexus. It's supposed to go against the BMW X1, Audi Q2 and those tiny SUVs, compact crossovers, whatever you want to call them. So I propose we take it for a ride. We talk a bit about practicality, a bit about specifications and so on and so on. And then I'll give you my advice and I'll tell you if it's worth buying in comparison to an X1 which I've already driven or other cars in this segment. So let's start with the design. This car is the first car ever to be designed by a woman inside the Toyota Lexus group. So I think that's a big thumbs up to Toyota and Lexus because that proves, well, we're not in the 1950s anymore. We live in 2019, so that's a big thumbs up from me. Aside from that, let's talk specifics. I think the car is just gorgeous. This is by far the best looking car in this segment. I'm sorry X1, I'm sorry Q2, I'm sorry Kona, whatever. You all have appealing sides, but this car is just gorgeous, just like every angle. I think it's a masterpiece, especially in this segment. It looks so wild and so spaceship-like. I really love it. And the best thing is, this gorgeous design doesn't stop on the outside, it's also on the inside. When you look at the seats, the layouts, the leather and everything, the way it looks and the way it mixes together, I really love it. I mean, from a design perspective, it's amazing, gorgeous, marvelous, whatever you want. I think this car is great looking. But, because there's a but. We'll come to that a bit later when I'll talk about the options, but there's something which has been annoying me on the inside of this car. Nothing to do with the outside is perfect, but the inside has some issues. Now, first of all, practicality. I'll just go straight to it. The boot is ridiculous. The trunk, however you want to call it, is just small. There's not a lot of room. The X1 is way better and this is really not. I mean, the hybrid batteries, they take space. I know there's no way around it, but still I think there's a huge problem with the trunk, especially if you want to take this car for a longer road trip. Now, gradually moving towards the inside of the car, the cabin, rear space. I mean, for someone of average size, you might be able to fit 4 people. I was even able to fit 4 of my friends in this car. I mean, 4 including me, so 4 people, not 5, sorry. But that being said, I still think you're pretty limited space-wise. Legroom is very tight and headroom is no better. So overall, space might be an issue for larger people. But if you just have like 2 small children or smaller friends, whatever, I think this car could do the job just fine. It's been designed as a city get-about, but a larger one. So instead of buying, I don't know, let's say an A3, you can buy that, or a GLA or something in that size. It's just supposed to be more of a city cruiser than an actual highway driver or road trip car or whatever, although it should be able to do all of those things. So yes, rear space pretty limited, no issue whatsoever on the front, except maybe I have my seat all the way down, and if I try and sit straight up, I will touch the ceiling with my head. There's just no way around it. Again, my seat is all the way down, but that's okay because I just have to crunch a little and it's fine. I'm still very comfortable. And talking about comfort, the seats are amazing. The F-Sport trim is worth every penny. Although it's a bit expensive, but it's still worth it. The seats are amazing, and the options that come with those seats and with the F-Sport trim and everything. Oh, I'm really excited to talk about those. So starting with what I like, this car is optioned out. It has everything you might desire in a car. Anything from heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, backup camera, heads-up display. Not even a backup camera, it's actually a 360 view, bird view, like you get in a 7 Series or like an LS500H. So it's very well equipped. There's nothing I miss in this car, honestly, except maybe some trunk space, but that's another question, of course. But there's nothing options wise that I could miss in this car. Even the finishes, I mean, the leather is supple, it's great, everything feels high-end. Although this is far from being the most expensive Lexus you can get nowadays, it feels so refined. And when you compare it to like a CT200H, which is also pretty entry-level, like this is supposed to be, I think this car is far superior in every way. Now to the things I don't really like, and that's ergonomy. And how can I explain that? Well, you'll see on the images that the volume knob is in a weird place. And overall, the infotainment system works like in any other Lexus, except the buttons, they've just switched places and they're not really intuitive to find, and I don't really like it. That's my big complaint for the inside. It's bad because why would you put the volume knob there and then separate it from the mouse pad and then and from why? It just doesn't make sense. You just put it there, it's just a knob. It just makes more sense if you put it on the center console rather than somewhere close to your elbow. It just doesn't make sense to me. So to sum it up, the interior, well, quality is amazing, options great, so many, and space, comfort, more than decent. So I propose now we move on to specifications because this has something new under the bonnet. This comes with a brand new 2 liters petrol engine, which brings more power than ever before, because you used to get like the Prius with the 1.8 liter engine, and it was making in the latest variant about 120 horses, all power combined, you know, total output, which was okay, I guess. Yeah, to get about it's fine. This one though, it brings the total output to 180 horses, which is way better, and it feels so much smoother, so much more refined. This car is the 2-wheel drive variant, although you can get a 4-wheel drive one. I don't really see a point to getting a 4-wheel drive. I doubt anyone's gonna take it off-road, and I doubt it could actually go off-road. I don't really think you need that much 4-wheel drive action in town, especially in a town like Brussels or London or Paris. Just doesn't make sense to me, but that's fine. You can still get it in 4-wheel drive if you choose so. Same old gearbox, the ECVT. You still get this kind of step thingy where now if you put it in sports, you get like the feeling the car changes gears to make it less drowny and noisy and, you know, unappealing. And I don't think it really works. Yeah, I really don't. So don't try to hide something that just works fine for its intended purpose just because you want to make it sporty or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, maybe in the LC the gearbox was way better. There was a huge difference. In this one, same old. Lastly, fuel economy. Fuel economy is great. Why am I saying it's great? Because the numbers that I got were in the low 7s to high 6s. I mean, low 7 liters to high 6 liters per 100 kilometers. So for a car with this much power, because indeed 180 is not something to laugh at, I think fuel economy is great. And this is just in town. On the highway, you can get in the low 6s to high 5s. High 5s, yeah, I know, bad joke anyways. But overall, I think fuel economy is great. I'm sure you could get lower, but again, I feel compelled to say it in each video. I'm not driving these cars as economically as I could. I drive them normally to reflect a regular experience, sometimes maybe a bit even sportier than most people. And I assume that that's just my driving style, that's how I drive it, that's just it. I'm sure you might get a better number, and if you know people who have gotten better numbers, I'm pretty sure it's achievable. Although 4 liters per 100 kilometers, I don't think so. Except if you just like cruising downhill at 90 on the highway, something like that, yeah, maybe. But I'm talking regular fuel economy. This is what I got, and I think it's still amazing and very impressive. To get around 7 in town or under 7 from a 2-liter petrol engine, come on. It's still a big car. It doesn't weigh nothing. I mean, it's not a big car, but it still weighs something with all the batteries and so on. So I think fuel economy is on point with this car and the new engine. Lastly, my impression behind the wheel of this car. Well, I have to say, first of all, I was impressed by how well the car handles. Pretty fun, actually. If you try to push it, it doesn't have the power. It's not a sports car, of course, but it's still sportier than I'm used to when it comes to small Lexuses. It's great. It really handles well. The suspension is well set up. Steering wheel is nice. It really feels like it could provide you with some fun time. Cruising in town, it's relaxing. It has more than enough power. Fuel economy is great, as I was saying earlier. You have so many options and you just have everything you might need. Design's on point. Interior is plush and comfy. It's a very, very good car. Now, is it better than an X1? That's a complicated question. It's definitely better than a Q2. In my opinion, it looks better. It's just better. I'm not gonna go there, but to me, it's a better car. Although the X1 offers more space, feels like more of a practical car. This is more of a design exercise, so everything looks amazing, but it's sometimes less practical than it should be, or less practical than you'd expect it to be, at least. So overall, I'd say if I were to decide between this and then Q2 or a Kona, I might pick this one. But if I were to choose between this and an X1, considering that they're not that far away from each other in price points, especially when it comes to a top level engine, I think the X1 is more practical. I think the X1 may be easier to sell later on, but I think this car is just gorgeous and it's more luxurious, and the finishes are far better. The X1 is sportier, this is more economical. Really, it all comes down to your own preference, I guess. So I have no clear decision on that. I'm sorry if you waited till the end of the video to get like a clear and argumented opinion on whether you should buy this or that, because I just cannot offer that. I think it comes down to personal preferences. In conclusion, I think this is a very, very good car. It has a bright future ahead of itself, and I'm really looking forward to see newer declinations of this car. This is just the first one. I'm curious to see what's to come. Are they going to offer more engines? Are they going to offer something different? I don't know. But right now, as it stands, I think it's a great daily driver with just some minor drawbacks, such as space, boot space in general, and well, ergonomy. You have to do something about those knobs, Lexus. Now guys, I thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you guys also enjoyed watching this review. I hope it's been helpful to you, and if you did, and if it has, please make sure to leave a big thumbs up under the video thingy, and make sure to subscribe if you can. It helps us a lot, and you know, get more cars, more videos, stuff like that. So if you can spare a subscribe, just then do it, please. We'll be very grateful. As for me, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.